It killed hundreds of people there. The 6.0 magnitude quake struck in the middle of the night, leveling residential buildings in the northeastern part of that country. According to officials on the ground, at least 800 people were killed. Thousands more were injured. Rescue crews are now digging through the rubble. They are searching for survivors. And because this quake hit in such a mountainous region, it's expected it could take some time to get a full assessment of the destruction there.
It's devastating. Turning now to the war in the Middle East, Israel intensifying deadly airstrikes across Gaza while its security cabinet meets to discuss next steps, despite growing pressure from protesters and world leaders to end its military operations and bring home those hostages. NBC's chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel is in Tel Aviv for us this morning. Richard, good morning.
Good morning, Laura. The Israeli military's focus right now is clearly Gaza City. It is the biggest city in all of the Gaza Strip. It is one of the only places in Gaza where tall buildings are still standing, and the Israeli military is threatening to go in force. And humanitarians say that when it seems Israeli troops do launch this major offensive against Gaza City, that it will be a humanitarian catastrophe, perhaps unlike anything that we have seen yet in this war. But Israeli officials say that Gaza City remains a Hamas stronghold and that it may be where some of the hostages are being held. This morning, Israel claims to have killed in Gaza City the long-serving spokesman for Hamas. Abu Obaida was one of the most senior Hamas officials still living. Hamas hasn't commented. Gaza City is now squarely in Israel's crosshairs. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in the midst of calling up 60,000 reservists for a full ground assault on the city, claiming it is the last remaining holdout of Hamas. Last night, during a 6-hour cabinet meeting, Netanyahu announced the offensive is still a go, without even discussing a ceasefire that Hamas says it has agreed to, according to Israeli media. Up to 1 million people remain in Gaza City, and the few international aid groups still working there say more Palestinians are arriving every day as they try to escape advancing Israeli troops. International agencies say Gaza City is already facing a level 5 famine, the highest level. Ala Jawad is returning to her tent with her son after they battled crowds to get some rice from a food kitchen, describing it as humiliating and insufficient. If they have food, we eat. Otherwise, we don't. My youngest son cries all day from hunger, she says. Opposition to the war and Netanyahu appear to be growing in Israel. Weekly protests against Netanyahu have swelled from a few thousand in Tel Aviv to several 100,000 2 weeks ago. Gil Dickman's cousin, Carmel, was executed by Hamas a year ago. Dickman accuses Netanyahu of refusing a deal that could have set her free and says the war is now doing harm to both Israel and Jews worldwide.